Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly, and in today's video I am going to talk to you about my favorite items for homeschooling at the preschool level. Some of these items I've had since before we actually started homeschooling. We started when my daughter turned 4, or a few months after my daughter turned 4, but we were always kind of doing little things beforehand. So I really love most of these items. Like I said, I've had most of them for a while, and I definitely see them growing with us for at least a couple of years. Maybe not everything, but majority of them I would say yes. So I just thought I would share these items with you. I know that some people kind of like dabble into preschool to see if homeschooling is something that they would enjoy, that works well for their family. So if that's you, you definitely want to make sure you're setting yourself up for success. Even if that's not you, obviously you want to set yourself up for success. So for my family, I think that these items are essential. We use them all the time, and they definitely make preschool what we need it to be. I'm not really sure where I was going with that, but let's just jump into the items. So number one, you need some kind of manipulatives or loose parts. These are my favorite. These are my ultimate favorite. We've had these for a while, but these are also pricey and are not necessary. These are the Grapat Mandala sets. They all kind of come separate. So like these I think are the honeycomb set, and then I don't know, we call these the eggs. But as you can see, there's a variety of different sets. I really like these because as you can see, there's a bunch of different shapes and colors, shades of different colors. So it makes it a little bit more fun and more versatile. We use these for counting, we use these for sorting, we use these to make mandalas, we use these to trace over shapes and numbers, letters. My daughter uses these to as ingredients to cook in her kitchen. She uses these in small world play. These are very versatile within our house, not just necessarily within preschool. So I love these. But these specific ones are not necessary because they are pricey. I just really love these, so I wanted to share them. I do know if you like this style but maybe don't want to pay the price or have a hard time finding them, because since the pandemic they have been a little bit more difficult to find sometimes. There are some very similar alternatives on Etsy. At least they look similar. I can't say quality wise, but I'm sure they're great. Let me show you some other options. Another option would be these guys right here. These are wooden cubes from the Dollar Tree. This little plastic jar is also from the Dollar Tree. These work great, and they're a really good size. You don't want something too small, especially if you're starting preschool really early, because they don't always have those small motor skills. So this is, I feel like, is a really good size. It is smaller than the first option, a little size comparison, but it's also bigger than the next option I'll show you. And that is these guys right here. These are painted chickpeas. We use these for a sensory bin, and I just saved them, and we use them in school all the time. These are also a great option, but as you can tell, they're also a very tiny option. So for a preschooler, especially a new preschooler, this may not be the best option, but I still wanted to share the 3 different options. We do use the chickpeas for counting, and for patterns we've used it that way before, but they are small. Actually our favorite way would be to use them inside of a tracing board to kind of form letters. We also have one like this from Target. These are great. Not necessary. They're probably not up there top on my list, but we do enjoy them. Etsy also has some that are a lot pricier than this one, but that's mainly how we use the chickpeas, is in something like this. So now that you've seen our main 3 options, other things that you can do is, honestly, you can collect things outside, like rocks, sticks, leaves, pebbles, depending on how many you need. You can use the beans in your pantry, you can use pasta, you can use whatever, as long as your little one has the small motor skills to use it. Like I said, you may not want to start off with something too small. But those are great because you're gonna do a lot of counting, sorting, identifying colors, maybe depending on what your manipulatives are, identifying shapes. You're gonna do tracing letters, numbers, shapes, and by tracing I mean if I draw a square on my paper, my daughter can take the manipulative and trace out the square with it. Patterns, I'm not sure if I said that, mandalas, you can use it in so many ways and you will use them. So for me, this is one of my #1 items that we absolutely need for preschool. By the way, the rest of these aren't really in a specific order. I'm just kind of grabbing them as I see what's closest to me. But next I have a sand tray or a tracing tray. I lucked out and found this one at Target in the dollar spot. It has the alphabet, the cards are double-sided, and just a little bit of white sand here where you can simply trace whatever you need to, erase it. I do move these sometimes, and you can put numbers, shape, cards, whatever. This is great. If you can't find this one, you don't need this one. We also have a big tray, just like any type of tray that you have. You can put flour, sand, even rice if you wanted, just so your little one can practice tracing. Again, if they're very new to preschool, this might even be kind of small for them to use. You might prefer something bigger, something you already have on hand. But this is a great way to start those like pre-writing skills, is with something like this. So next on my list is flashcards. These are just the ones that were closest to me that were already out. We're using these. I don't have a box to show you because honestly I took most of them out of the box. I'll show you how I store them. Most of ours are out of the box and I just have them hanging in this little hanging thing here, like hanging pouch that I got from Target in the dollar section. We have a variety of different types. Now we have Spanish cards and then we also have English flashcards. I'm not telling you to get both. We are a bilingual family, that's why. But I have some from the Dollar Tree. I have some from the Target dollar spot. I have some from Dirt Cheap, possibly Dollar General. Like, wherever I see flashcards that I like, I get them. We've also been gifted flashcards with like money and things that we're not necessarily doing yet. I love a good educational gift. So your flashcards do not have to be fancy. I've seen some on Amazon that I would not pay the price for that flashcard. You can even make your flashcards. But I think that sometimes people underestimate flashcards. We don't just use them to show and memorize. If we're learning about number 14, it's a way for my child to constantly see number 14. I'm pretty positive that this one comes from the dollar store. So my child is seeing the number 14, recognizing the word 14, or at least starting to, and then flipping it over and there's 14 dots right here. So this is just a way for her to get very familiar with the number, and we can always have it out on display in her learning area. Flashcards can just be really beneficial if you want to put your numbers in order from 0 to 5. They can use the flashcards to do that. I think flashcards have a lot more uses than what people think, and I highly recommend getting some flashcards or making some flashcards for preschool. All right, next on the list, I have an alphabet poster, and then I also have a number poster. Any kind of alphabet and number poster will work. I do like this number one because it also has the objects on the side to count, which have been very useful. This alphabet poster obviously is homemade. I found the little circle cards in the Target dollar spot. You guys, do not underestimate the Target dollar spot, especially back to school time. Pick up a few things. That sand tray, I picked that up way before my child could actually use it, but now we use it all the time. Anyways, I really like these little circle cards. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them when I picked them up, but I like that they have the uppercase and the lowercase letter. Your child is going to learn about both of them, so this one is my favorite. If you can't find one that's affordable, because again, these can be pricey, you could literally just buy the poster, write it yourself. Same with the numbers, but I definitely think it's very beneficial. I actually did not put this on the list, but I wanted to show you guys. This is just like a little name card that you would see, I don't know, in like a preschool kindergarten classroom. But it has helped my daughter so much just to learn how to spell her name and kind of what it should look like, an uppercase versus a lowercase letter. I've had this on the wall for a long time, and I highly recommend this. Again, you can literally make it out of anything. All right, and I just realized I left the closet behind me open, but that's okay. That's reality right now. I keep a lot of extra things in that closet, should I say. Anyways, next on the list, I have art supplies, and I didn't want to be very specific because that's different for everyone. But art supplies can cover crayons, markers, color pencils. You don't need everything, but you definitely need a variety. Stickers, paper, sorry, I'm kind of looking at the list. Glue, scissors, glue dots, tape, pom-poms, feathers, pipe cleaners, googly eyes, pretty much anything you can think of. We have a variety. We've been collecting it for a long time. I even have a jar of pasta right here that we use to make necklaces. I love art supplies. When someone wants to buy something for my daughter, I always say, oh, we love art stuff. Get any kind of art supplies. Let your little one be creative. They're gonna learn so well through play, through using their hands, through creating. So you're gonna need all those tools to help them freely create. I'm gonna show you some of our favorite. We really love the brand Uli. It's not necessary. It is a little bit pricier for kids supplies, but we also love Crayola as well. These are watercolor paints. We did have just that small single like Crayola strip for a while. Once my daughter kind of got a hang of it and enjoyed it more, we upgraded to this guy. These are oil pastel colors that are in a plastic tube. This is tempera paint, you know, I don't really know how to say it. We're gonna call them poster paints because they go by both names. These are in little squeezy pouches. This I found in the Target dollar section. We have a pack of the primary colors, and then I don't know, I think the other pack was like secondary colors. I'm not really sure, I can't see them all. But paint, you're gonna need paint. Which reminds me, get a cheap tablecloth, like a dollar store, Dollar Tree tablecloth that you can kind of reuse, cover your surfaces, and let your little one have fun. We like a variety of paint. We have these poster paints, we have watercolor paints. I also have acrylic paints that we kind of do when we like paint rocks and things that we really want the paint to stick to. Obviously these guys won't work as well for that, but these are also a lot easier to clean up. So, you know, you still want to have a variety available. I also wanted to show you this brand right here. I purchased these at the Dollar Tree from a recommendation from someone in a homeschool group that I'm in. She said that these were really good. We bought them in a variety of like tans and browns, whites, black to make skin tones. But this is 8 ounces from the Dollar Tree, so I haven't used them yet, but they were highly recommended. So I just wanted to show you these as another option. All right, next on the list is a dry erase board or a chalkboard. I don't have one to show you right here, but any kind of dry erase board or chalkboard. We have one that looks like a little paddle that comes from the Dollar Tree. Now that one isn't magnetic like some, so if you want a magnetic one, then you'll have to pay a little bit more for one like that. But any kind of dry erase board or chalkboard. My daughter has an easel back here, if you can see. We do use this dry erase board and the chalkboard on there, especially when like pairing up letters and things like that. But I prefer a small one, because if we're not in this room doing school, like if we're in the kitchen or whatever, it's just a little bit more portable. I enjoy having the small one for your hands, but you don't need both. If you think you're going to use that, then that's fine. All right, next I have letter and number manipulatives. Now, these are magnetic, but this set actually came with a small marker board. So if you get a set like this, then maybe you don't even need to purchase one. I really like these. I like the variety of colors. This is the numbers. And they also come with like plus sign, minus sign, things like that. They came with some markers, I believe. This little dry erase board and eraser. And then your big set of letters here. They have uppercase and lowercase. You do not need this set specifically. You could use those magnetic letters, you know, kind of like we've all had as kids that we use on the fridge. Those would work just as well. We actually had some of those for a little while, and then they were just kind of out in the open where everyone played with them. We had them for years and we were missing quite a bit. So since we got a lot of use out of them, I decided to upgrade to this guy right here, these guys. But those honestly would work just as well if we had all the pieces. I wouldn't have purchased this one. But you're gonna want some type of letters and numbers. Wooden ones would be nice, plastic ones, they definitely don't have to be magnetic. That's just personal preference. But you're gonna want letters and numbers for sure. I'm gonna show you another option. I have this little apple. We got this in like a sensory bin. I didn't actually go out and search for this. But in here are these tiny foam letters. What we typically do with this is my daughter will dig through them because it's the entire alphabet, and she'll look for the letter of the week, or I don't know, I might name something and she'll look for the letter that it starts with. But I would say the main thing we do is she digs through them and she finds the letters of her name and she spells out her name. I'm not really sure where to purchase these, but I'm sure if you googled like foam letters or something, they look like this. Here's your S, but kind of like with the Chickpeas, these are very small. They are flimsy, but you could definitely use these. You know your child best. If you think your child's going to be gentle with them, if they can handle something this small, then this is definitely an option. I would assume these come in like a bulk pack. So I just wanted to show you guys another choice. Okay, next on the list I have Play-Doh and Clay. I know not everyone's a huge fan of Play-Doh, but you want to get those little hands working, and Play-Doh and Clay are great tools for that. Also, something like kinetic sand would be fun, but Play-Doh and Clay specifically, because you can make more things out of it than what you can do with like slime and sand. Those are definitely good for getting those little hands moving. But I would say specifically for school purposes or learning, probably Play-Doh and Clay, because you can form letters, numbers, make animals, things like that. So Play-Doh and Clay, you can make it, you can buy it almost anywhere. So those are definitely going to be huge hits. And for tool wise, like tools to use it, little knives, things like that, you can buy, of course, any kind of like Play-Doh or Clay set. But most of the items that we use with the Play-Doh and Clay, I think we have like Play-Doh scissors. Obviously I don't really want to use real scissors with Play-Doh, but most of the stuff we use is just like things that we find in the kitchen. So you don't have to buy all kind of extra pieces for it, but Play-Doh and Clay are super handy. All right, next on the list, I also don't have it to show you, but it's a library card. You are gonna use the heck out of that thing, or you should. If you're purchasing a curriculum, you're gonna have books to read. If you're not purchasing a curriculum, you still wanna have a lot of books to read about holidays, numbers, letters, about different cultures, religion, I don't know, animals, whatever it may be. You're gonna want to have a lot of books, and a library card is the best way to get a wide variety of them. We also like doing read alouds on YouTube if we can't get a physical copy of a book, but the library card, just there's so many benefits to having it. If you're having computer problems, or if you don't have a computer, if you don't have a printer, you can use the one at your library if you have a library card. Our library has story time. Our library has free crafts. It has little events all the time. Like, I think Mrs. Claus was there, and there's like different little classes you can take. And so a library card is super beneficial. You will use the heck out of that thing. If you don't, come back and tell me, but I really think you would. And a library card is free. It's a great tool to have. Okay, next on the list, I don't have one to show you, but sensory bin materials. And that can literally be anything. Junk mail that comes in, shred that puppy up, you have a base for your sensory bin. Expired pasta, you have a base. Rice, you have a base. Beans. A sensory bin can be anything. You have tongs in the kitchen, perfect. You have spoons, you have measuring cups, you have, I don't know, bowls, plates, anything. You can use anything in a sensory bin. Yes, you can buy adorable little wooden sets. We love some of those. I'm not gonna lie, we have purchased tools for sensory bins, but honestly, some of my daughter's favorite tools are things that she found in my kitchen. And that's awesome, because then it's giving her like kind of real life, you know, she's learning how to use those tools in the kitchen already. But a sensory bin can just be used in so many different ways. You can hide numbers in there, or you can just let your child practice scooping and pouring, depending on what level of preschool you're starting. Sensory bins might be something you do every week, multiple times a week. You know, it just really depends on where your child is, what their skills are when starting. Like I said, we started at 4. We were using sensory bins long before that. We still do use them, but not as much. And then a few like runner-up items that I kind of wrote is office supplies for yourself. Obviously, you're gonna need things like scissors, glue, like things that you would, like grown-up scissors besides your child's scissors. You're gonna need lots of paper, pens. You might want markers, highlighters, things like that. Maybe a planner. A printer is great to have. It's not necessary, but it is very beneficial to have one. Something else I put on there was dot markers. We love, love, love dot markers. Dot marker letter sheets, number sheets, picture sheets. Huge fans. You can find a ton of free dot marker sheets online. If you don't have the actual dot markers, somebody in your family plays bingo, it's literally the same thing. My daughter loves those though, so dot markers are great to have. Also, I put on there blocks, Legos, magnetic tiles. You're gonna want one of those, maybe all of them. You can do different things with all of them, but you're gonna want something like that. I also think a calendar would be beneficial, some type of little clock, just to start introducing the clock if you don't have like a big one in your house. And that's about it. That's kind of what I have for my essentials. The ending things are just kind of like runner up. But you want to have a variety of hands-on materials. Your child is going to learn so well hands-on at this age. They learn through play. They learn through doing, moving. So for me, those are my essentials. Those are what I think are essential. I'm sure I'm leaving something out. I'm sure I'm leaving something out. I'm trying to glance around the room, but honestly, I see a lot of great things, but I think I have my bases covered. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and say that that's all. If there's something very beneficial that you think I forgot, please leave it down below for someone else to see. Like I said, I'm sure I forgot something, and every family is different, but for us, these are our essentials. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.